Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody to the July 5th, 2016 Piqua City Commission meeting. We all stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, could we have a roll call?
Commissioner Vogt,
Here.
Commissioner Martin,
Here.
Commissioner Terry,
Here.
Commissioner Wilson,
Here.
Mayor Hines is absent this evening.
Can I have a motion to excuse Mayor Hines?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the motion carried 4-1. Now we'll have any announcements from anyone in the room.
How do you get 4-1?
Yeah, how do you get, it'd be 4-0.
Oh, I guess it's new math. I'm bound to make a mistake. Let's make it 4-0. Now I'm ready. Now we'll have any announcements in the room on anything that's not on the agenda tonight. Any general announcements of anyone?
I'm Katie Sebring. I work at Turntable Cafe located on High Street 122 in the Fort Piqua Plaza. We're a gourmet coffee shop and we serve fair trade organic coffee and teas, and our hours are Monday through Friday 7:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Saturday 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Thank you.
Okay. And your almond pastries are very good.
Yes, that's my recipe.
I like those,
yes,
yeah.
the almond cinnamon donuts. Yes.
What all you sell? What kind of sandwiches too?
We don't serve sandwiches, no, we're gourmet coffee and tea, and then we do baked goods, and they're baked in-house every day, fresh. Any more
Thanks.
questions? No?
Any other announcements? Okay, well, first item will be the consent agenda.
The only item on the consent agenda this evening is the approval of the minutes from the June 21st meeting.
I move we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? This passed 4-0 this time. Okay, the first old business item will be ordinance number 10-16.
An ordinance repealing sections 94.23, 94.24, and 94.26 of Chapter 94, and adopting new sections of 94.23, 94.24, and 94.26 of the Piqua Municipal Code.
Law Director Ms. Wall will provide the report.
Thank you. This ordinance is repealing all of the sections regarding the parks, what their uses are for, and their curfew hours, and rewriting those sections to update it to current language, as well as cleaning up language such as instead of saying no running at the pool, the language now says that the park or the rules for the pool will be posted. So there's notice. It also cleans up the names of the parks, so there's notice as to what is identified as a public park. And then as we've spoken about at the last meeting, that it does include a prohibition on geocaching. However, it would be permitted after there's been approval by the city, so that it's not an ultimate prohibition, but it would be permitted once you have approval from either the police chief or the city manager. I have received no comments about the changes in this ordinance, and it is your third reading.
Okay, any comments from the commission on this?
I haven't had anybody call me and make any
I haven't
statements
either.
for or against this.
I've heard a lot about geocaching, more than I ever wanted to know.
Yeah,
It sounds pretty benign.
okay. Any comments from anyone in the public? Okay. All in favor of, I'm sorry?
I move we approve ordinance number 10-16.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And motion passes 4-0. Next
Um,
item? Yes.
You know, I'm sorry. I'm wondering if there should be signs posted at Lock 9 Park about smoking regulations in the parks. After the other evening, there was a lot of smoking at the concert and a lot of babies there, a lot of children, lots of babies, lots of smoking that I saw, and
They smoking?
I just wonder if maybe we could, I don't want to seem not welcoming. Nevertheless, I don't think people need to smoke in the parks, especially around little children.
Is there a defined place for them to smoke at the Loch Nine Park?
I don't believe there is right now, but we can create a sign for our designated smoking area.
That's probably a good idea.
In the ordinance, what is defined for smoking is your ball fields and things where it is heavily occupied by children.
Well, it talks about parking lots and, outside the area, so.
On 94.24C4, it says the park shall permit smoking in designated areas only, which would be designated by signage. So it gives the authority for the city to do that. We would just need to designate an area.
I would be happy with that.
Okay. And next item is resolution number R-73-16.
And resolution accepting ownership of a lift station.
Ms. Wall.
Thank you. This is the tabled resolution regarding the acceptance of the lift station from the Yenny property. This was tabled to review the legal description until today. It was tabled for a date specified. It's my recommendation this remain on the table for the reason that under new business, item number 6 is the lift station to consider. I made enough changes where I thought it would be a cleaner process just to put a new resolution on rather than trying to amend the current one. So with the recommendation to table it, if there's no motion to take it off the table, it will remain tabled indefinitely, and you don't need to vote on that.
Okay.
So then we'll still be voting on the other
Correct.
resolution? Okay. I'll move that we table this resolution R-73-16.
Already tabled.
Don't have to.
It's already tabled, so if you want to take it off
Oh.
the table, you would make a motion.
Yeah, otherwise,
So if we,
Otherwise, we don't need
so we
anything.
can leave it,
Yeah.
we can leave it on the table? then?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, then I will rescind my motion.
no objections,
you.
we'll leave this resolution on the table then. All right, the next item is resolution number R-88-16.
A resolution authorizing a purchase order to the McLean Company for the purchase of a new asphalt milling machine for the Public Works Department.
Mr. Harder.
If this resolution is passed, it'll enable us to purchase the milling machine as stated. And what this milling machine does, it has a conveyor belt that will dump it directly into our dump trucks as we're milling, and speeds up the process tremendously, allows us to haul it away. We don't have to mill it and come back and get it. We've been renting this same machine for the past year, so we put it in our budget this year to purchase, so we're asking for your approval. What do we do with those millings after we put them in the truck? We take those out to our compost facility and store them, and then we have some machines in the wintertime that reheat those millings, turn them back into asphalt, and that's what we patch holes with in the wintertime. Okay.
Now, is this a self-sufficient machine and and has its own drive and everything? The only
Yes.
thing the dump truck has to do is be there to catch the millings?
We put a driver on it, he drives it, conveyor belt sends it up, and the dump truck backs right along with it, puts it right in the bed. It's a two-man operation, dump truck and driver.
Does it have any capacity for storage on its own for like changing out trucks, or does it have to stop?
No, it stops.
Okay.
And the reason I think we want to buy this instead of renting is the current cost is roughly $14,000 a month, correct?
That is correct,
So in the long run, we'll save money and
Oh,
probably be
absolutely.
more efficient and,
absolutely.
yeah, okay.
What's the expected lifespan of this machine?
I'm saying probably 10 to 12 years. There is some maintenance that we have to do on the teeth once a year, replace them. They wear down and break, but I mean, other than that, it's a pretty self-sufficient machine.
Okay.
Okay, any comments from the public on this? All right, roll call vote.
I moved
We
it.
adopt resolution
I'm sorry.
R-88-16.
Second?
Okay, now may we have a roll call?
Sure. Commissioner Terry,
Aye.
Commissioner Martin,
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt,
Aye.
Commissioner Wilson.
All right. Okay, this resolution passed 4-0. Next resolution is number R-89-16.
And it is a public hearing. A resolution accepting for statutory purposes a budget for the calendar year 2017.
Ms. Holzapfel.
Thank you. The state requires that the city pass an estimated tax budget and draft appropriation by 7/15 of each year. In your packet, you'll see a detail of the current 2017 tax budget that is projected to be $163 million. This is an increase of about $24 million over the current budget, and that's due to several projects in the enterprise funds, in particular the water tower and the wastewater proposed plant expansion.
Okay, any comments from the commission? Okay, are any comments from the public? If you are wanting to comment on this, we will have to swear you in prior to this, so if you're interested in that, please stand. Okay. Have a motion?
I move we adopt resolution R-89-16.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Okay, resolution passed 4-0. Next resolution is R-90-16.
A resolution accepting ownership of a lift station.
Ms. Wall.
Thank you. This is the resolution rewritten based upon the tabled resolution we just discussed a little bit ago. This is for the same property. It is for lot numbers 7536 and 7538. When the original lift station was put into the property, the Yennies actually owned the lift station, and so two easements were created at the back of those lots so that the city had access to put in the infrastructure. What this does is it takes ownership of the lift station, gives it to the city, while the Yennies remain owners of the land. The actual legal descriptions of the easements do not change, and we had, between the last meeting and this one, a surveyor go out to verify the legal descriptions, which were correct. And those easements, what expands is the scope of the easement. So before, it only allowed the city to access to put in the infrastructure. Obviously, if we're going to maintain it and own it, we need to have access to the property at all times for maintenance, anything like that. So the easements expand in scope for ingress and egress and any purpose related to maintaining that lift station. So that is what is before you tonight, two easements, taking ownership of the lift station, and then attached is the sample agreement that would be signed.
Any comments from the commission? Any comments for the public on this? Okay, I think the owner of the property is happy with this, and I think it's a good thing for both the city and the property owner. So can I have a motion?
I move to adopt resolution number R-90-16.
Second.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Resolution passes 4-0. Okay, this will be a quick night. We're ready for public comment tonight. If you would come up to the podium, state your name and address, and try to keep it within 5 minutes if possible.
My name's Dave Hitchings, 803 Camp Street, Piqua. I'm here to see if there's anything to be done about a problem in our neighborhood. We have a drug house, 800 block of Park, and I've obtained police reports just for the last 6 months from the police department, and there's been 30 calls down there in 6 months. Anywhere from 5 of them were warrants for arrest, 1 was theft, 5 of them were disorderly conduct, I believe, and 2 of them have been OD of heroin in this same property. It's 822 Park Avenue. It's a double.
822.
822, 824. It's owned by Norman Cromus Jr. And myself, the 800 block of Camp and Park, we're sick and tired of seeing the police down there. Of those 30 calls in the last 6 months, that's involved 72 officers, according to the police reports, were involved in those calls. And in those reports, there's more than 11 people that were either named subject or involved on the reports. And of those 11 people that I tracked and researched, they have been arrested 164 times since 2009 for things like, let's see, theft, receiving stolen property, criminal trespass, disorderly conduct, drug possession, B&E, sexual imposition, compelling prostitution, robbery, offenses involving minors, violating protection orders. These guys are like career criminals. And the problem right now is the person that's renting this house from Norman Cromus is not living there. Metropolitan pays her rent, and she moved out a couple months ago. So these squatters, I call them, are in and out of there. We're getting vehicles from Dayton up and down the alley, doing drug buys in the alley. There's several of the neighbors have witnessed it. I seen one a couple weeks ago, what looks like a drug buy. And we're just sick and tired of it. You know, to me, this house is a nuisance to our neighborhood and the city. And I'd like to know if there's anything to be done about it as far as shutting that house down. The landlord was down there last week and I was talking to him. And I told him, I said, I hope these people move out of here and move in your neighborhood, terrorize your neighborhood like they have us. I said, who's the guy sitting on the back porch? Because I've never seen him before. He said, I don't know. He was down there mowing, the landlord was down mowing the grass. He said, I don't know. He just says he knows somebody. A girl came out of the house, walked out to the alley, walked back into the house. I said, who is that? And he says, I don't know. So he has no clue. He don't care as long as he's getting his rent from Metropolitan. And we're just tired of it. We're just, I put cameras on my house because of this house. I'm getting ready to put a fence up in the backyard because of this house. And we're tired of it. I want something done with it. I mean,
let us look into it. I don't have any answer for you tonight, obviously.
right.
But let us get the police and law director involved and see what the history is and see what we can do. We
Good.
can't solve it tonight, but we can certainly look into it and see what can be done, because that does sound awfully bad.
I mean, I work at Hartsville Propeller, and I know a lot of people. I've been there 38 years, so I know a lot of people in Piqua. I don't hear nobody complaining about their neighborhoods like this, you know? And it's just the one house.
Yeah, well, we'll definitely look into it. We'll get back to you and see what we can come up with. And
Okay.
all right.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no
Thank
problem.
you.
Okay, are there any other comments?
Sign the book.
Okay, Dave, could you be sure that you sign the book before you leave? And then we'll have a record of all that. I've got it too, but back by the door. Okay? All right. Okay, so if that's all the public comment, we'll have the city manager's report.
Just a couple of items this evening. A little sleepy today, but we had a very eventful day yesterday with our first Fourth Fest. So very well-attended events, both at Fountain Park and at Lock 9. So I want to express my appreciation for the staff, the volunteers that put a lot of hours into planning, organizing, and carrying out that event. So I thought it went really well. And with that, related to that, a lot of activity happening in our parks with planned events and planned uses of our parks. So there is an opening on the park board. Anyone interested in serving on the park board should contact the city manager's office. That's all I have this evening.
Okay. Well, let's start with Commissioner Terry tonight, if you have any comments.
Just that I thoroughly enjoyed the 4th of July and everybody's hard work at the park, and also the fireworks downtown and the concert, all great. And very, very well attended, and good entertainment. So, and the weather cooperated.
Yeah, luckily, yeah.
Thanks, I'm told, to Lucy Fess.
Oh, really?
This is what I'm told.
Okay.
That's all I have.
All right. Commissioner Martin?
Basically the same thing as Judy said, so I'm not going to repeat it all.
Okay. Commissioner Vogt?
Nothing.
Okay, yeah, I did like the 4th of July was great. The afternoon at the park was nice. It started out a little slow because people weren't sure about the weather, and I know some of us in the room zip-lined on that day, and it was a lot of fun for the kids, and the bicycle parade was really nice, and then in the evening, the music was wonderful. The fireworks were really great, so I think it went really well for a first year. The other thing I had was, if you've been on Park Avenue up on the hill over the weekend, there was a flag in almost every house along the street when you drive by, and they're really, really beautiful. And I found out that Ruth Kuhn had organized this idea. She talked to every owner there to see if they would buy a flag and put it in their yard. So she talked to every owner, collected all the money, ordered the flags, delivered the flags, and they all planted or put the flags in for the weekend. So if you haven't been up there, you should drive by. It's really beautiful up there. And I thought it was a great thing she did, and among many things that she's done. So if you see her, thank her for that, because it really is fun to drive by when you see things like that. So that's all I have. I guess we can adjourn if we have a motion.
So move.
Second.
Okay, we're adjourned.